Meeting. And Kenny, you've got reason to be a little complacent, but should I stick with Shane Dye on his 8 rides or listen to you today?
Listen to me, mate. Let him stick to riding the horses and I'll pick the winners. Now, you're in too good a mood today, Max. You can easily tell our cricketers are doing well. But that's easy, picking the winner of the Test. Australia will win easily. Let's hope it's in about 4 days to save the heart. But here at Rosehill, things are pretty tough. I've tipped away from Shane Dye today, but that doesn't say that he won't ride winners. He was just here talking, and he seemed to be talking more about Majestic Boy in the last than his other mounts. But my tips, we're doing races 5 through to 8 live. In race 5, I'm going for Jimmy Cassidy mount, TAB number 7, Catalina Heights. Now, a little girl rode this at Canberra a fortnight ago. My mail is that it should have won. It finished a close second, and it'll be very hard to beat today. In race 6, I like number 7, Riverly Lass. She's from New Zealand, a very, very good mare. She'll be ridden by Tony Townsend, and here's 2.5 kg claim will help her. She'll be very hard to beat. In race 7, I like Centrossi, another horse from Canberra. Now, as I said in the paper this morning, the form in Canberra up in Parliament House mightn't be so hot, but down on the racetrack, it's very good. And this horse has won his last 3, and I think he can beat the City Slickers today. That's in race 7, number 7. And in the last, Shane Dye will be hard to beat on Majestic Boy, but I'm going for number 10, Willie Tell. He'll be at better odds. He's exceptionally well weighted, and even though his form doesn't read so hot, he's in a race to suit today. Pretty tough day, Maxie Boy. Perhaps we should stick with the cricketers.
Yeah, Majestic Boy and Australia to win, Kenny. Absolutely magnificent. OK, we'll be talking to Kenny at Rosehill a little later on with our 5 races, and I think it is a pretty...
The Ansett Golden Wing Plate, and it's a very tough race. There is no doubt it's the toughest essay all day long for punters at Rosehill. I think the biggest problem is the fact that several of the fancied runners have to come back in distance, and I don't think there's anything harder for a horse to do than have to do that. I don't know why. There seems to be, I think it's something to do with their metabolism. If you've been training a horse to gradually increase in distance, which is the logical thing to do, suddenly you expect him to come back to a reduced distance. Very few of them can handle it, Ken, and that's been tested and proven time and time again.
It's very hard for punters too, John, to come back to a reduced stake when they're doing their money. But if they're doing their money, I wouldn't suggest they try and get out on this race. This is a very, very hard race. Let's look at the prices on the tote. Number 1, Boomerang, is at getting out a little bit now, about 8 to 1, even a fraction better, a couple of cents over. Number 2, Princely Patch, back in distance, as John said, is a 10 to 1 chance. Ragtime Cowboy, drawn off the course, is a 12 to 1 chance. Number 4, Double Ace, plenty of speed, but will have to be used early, is at 16 to 1. Number 5, Bullocky Way, is at 6 to 1. He's got the advantage of a good alley. Number 6, Othello, is big odds, out to 60 to 1 now. Catalina Heights, now I've tipped Catalina Heights to be ridden by Jimmy Cassidy. Fair form down around Canberra. Nothing too flash, but the opposition here isn't flash either. I've got a couple of dollars on Catalina Heights, and he's at 12 to 1. Tristram's Honour at 66 to 1. TAB number 9, Caltra, is in now to 9 to 1, firming just a little bit. Looked particularly well, Caltra, and so did her stablemate Furnace, TAB number 10, who is in also to about 11 to 1. Favourite on the tote is Durga Princess, to be ridden by Shane Dye, fractionally under 4 to 1, going to return at the moment about $4.90 for each dollar invested. Buana Princess is a 50 to 1 chance. TAB number 13, Riot, is at 10 to 1 now, firming a little bit. It's got plenty of speed. Touch of Chimes has also come in a couple of points to 14 to 1. De La Rue is out to 25 to 1. And Star Touch, Michael Johnston's mountain New Zealander, has firmed a few points to be just over 40 to 1. As John said, an extremely hard race. John, Catalina Heights, Jimmy Cassidy's mount. He's already ridden the winner. I've got a couple of dollars on Catalina Heights.
Righto, mate. Well, I'll do my best to get him home for you. Catalina Heights, at least he's got a good barrier. Number 3, quite a number of the others are very badly drawn. You'll recognise that jockey, of course. That is the pre-race fixed expression of Shane Dye, a real tradesman, a real professional, and his mount is Durga Princess in bright colours, cerise with yellow sleeves and a yellow cap, and she is the first into the inside gate, so at least she too has a decent barrier draw. Now the 3-year-olds are being placed into the starting stalls. Durga Princess, the first one up into the number 1 gate. His Bullocky Way being led forward, followed up by Catalina Heights. Kenny Calendar's selection doesn't look to be much of him. He's a little fellow, Catalina Heights, and races in a breastplate. a little chestnut. He looks like he's got 2 or 3 white feet, a blaze and a breastplate. Now Furnace about to go up, and this one coming along here now in the royal blue colours is Touch of Chimes, and the rider said he, just to keep his mind on the job, gave him a little swish with the stick, as Touch of Chimes must have shown some reluctance to move up. Now there's Furnace going into the gates. Touch of Chimes has moved in, waiting on Boomerang, who's edging up towards the stalls now, followed forward by Double Ace. Princely Patch. Princely Patch, if he happens to walk past the camera, number 2 saddlecloth, has a big white blob on his offside, and no shadow of doubt that's how he was named. He's by Purple Patch, and per medium of that big patch of white on his offside, he is a real hybrid. Now waiting on Princely Patch. Yeah, there he is. Now wait till he just swings around again, and have a look at this birthmark, or that sign of the hybrid on Princely Patch. So if his colours are hard to find, just look for that big white blob. There's Princely Patch moving into the stalls, and we're just waiting on Othaldo to come up, and also Ragtime Cowboy, and they'll be set and ready for action in the Golden Wing Plate. Riot is in the gates, facing well. Very, very tough essay for the punters, this one. Now the lights flashing on top, and here's the starter Lindsay Murphy on this occasion coming over to release the field. Race 5, 1200, lights flashing, and they look pretty good now. No, starter headed back towards the stalls again as Star Touch backed out of line. Star Touch looked as though she'd gone in, but has backed out. As a matter of fact, they look to be having a quick... I think the vet station at the starting point is having a quick look at Star Touch. That filly might have given her head a clout, I think, in the starting gate. They seem to be making an inspection of the filly's mouth. And that's the reason for the delay. She obviously gave the head a whack in the starting gate. But the vet seems satisfied. Oh, he's by Opera Prince, that horse. I thought he was a Purple Patch horse, Princely Patch, by Opera Prince. Hey, what a good sire, too. Now, here's a close-up. The vet's got a few helpers, as you can see. One of the gatemen has hold of Star Touch's left ear. And just before you start to think that might be a little over the odds, let me tell you that it has a calming effect on the horse, believe it or not. If you get a horse that wants to play up or give you a little trouble, just grab an ear, and it's almost like a sedative. Now Star Touch back in the stalls, and the starter Lindsay Murphy onto his rostrum, and they're about set and ready to run in the Golden Wing Plate. Steady down. Bullocky Way faces well. Durga Princess, the inside runner. Still no start. Now there is, they're off and running, and Tristram's Honour stayed in the gate, and Caltra made a mess of it, came out near enough to last, and beginning brilliantly, Catalina Heights taken on immediately by Furnace racing towards the lead. Riot from an outside gate is going like the wind and will be in front shortly, followed by Double Ace, Ragtime Cowboy. Boomerang's closer than expected, followed by Durga Princess, Buana Princess, Princely Patch. Caltra going fast out wide after that slow start, followed by Star Touch. A good way back in the field then as they come through the gap onto the course proper is Touch of Chimes. Bullocky Way well out of his ground with Delarue, followed by Othaldo, and last of all is Tristram's Honour. Up to the home turn, and Riot with the inside running just led Ragtime Cowboy. Catalina Heights third, followed by Furnace. Double Ace 3 and 4 deep on the corner. Further back is Boomerang and Durga Princess searching for a run between horses. In the straight, Riot the leader over Ragtime Cowboy. Furnace starting to struggle, and then Double Ace. Durga Princess can't get a crack at him. His Boomerang bursting through in the middle. Riot still in front at the 200 from Boomerang's Double Ace, and down the outside Touch of Chimes is finishing fast and might blow them all out. Riot, Double Ace, Touch of Chimes grabbing them on the outside. Double Ace and Touch of Chimes, and Buana Princess has come from nowhere, bursting through in the centre. What a thriller, what a thriller. Touch of Chimes, Buana Princess and Double Ace. Close up is Riot, followed by Catalina Heights. Boomerang looked a chance and then died on his run from Durga Princess, Princely Patch, Tristram's Honour. Further back Furnace, Ragtime Cowboy, Star Touch and Othaldo, Delarue, and the last couple Bullocky Way and Caltra. Oh, what a finish. What a boomer of a finish, with Touch of Chimes on the outside. Buana Princess has dropped out of the sky. She came through between them, and Double Ace, who looked a certain winner when he was still in front about 50 metres out. Let's have a look at this replay, and what a pity it's at such an angle, because this isn't going to help me much at all. Double Ace in the orange, Touch of Chimes on the outside, but I'm worried about this one getting through in the middle. No, she hasn't made it, Buana Princess. Touch of Chimes will get it. Touch of Chimes on the outside looks to have done best, ridden by Terry Duckett, and is showing $14.440, and there's the number Touch of Chimes, the winner. Number 14, Touch of Chimes, Terry Duckett. Now, Buana Princess has burst through in the middle. Number 12 showing a place dividend of $12, and Double Ace, number 4 is showing a place dividend of $5.30. So it's 14 and a rib-tickling photo finish in the Golden Wing Plate. That was the first of 4 that you're going to see live on Wide World of Sports.
How good are the 30th anniversary Ford Falcons? We asked the Europeans.
The Falcon has a lot.
Check the results and New South Wales TAB dividends for Sydney Race 5, the Ansett Golden Wing Plate over 1,200 metres. The correct numbers 14, 12 and 4. First number 14, Touch of Chimes, paid $14.50 and $4.40. Second, number 12, Buana Princess, $12.40. And third, number 4, Double Ace, paid $5.30. Kenny Callender has a tip for Sydney Race 6 and it's number 7, Rivoli Lass. Turning now to the AFL, and it's almost half-time in the
Time's going in, but still the stewards have the last word, and in their wisdom they elected and saw fit that race should be taken away from Touch of Chimes. Funny thing, Ken, jockey Terry Duckett broke a long run of outs on Touch of Chimes. His moment of glory was short-lived.
Yes, John, I think his last city winner was probably All Mine in a Welterweight Randwick a few months back. But, yep, opinions were divided whether the protest would be upheld. It was touch and go, and unfortunately for Terry and supporters of Touch of Chimes, the race went to Buana Princess. But we're worried about this race, in which all the rage is Greenback, Jimmy Cassidy's mount. Let's look at the prices. Number 1 is out to 10-1 Donegal Mist. He'll probably need further. Port Kingdom is at 16-1. Greenback's the favourite at 6-4. Big Raps to be ridden by Shane Dyers, showing $4.60, odds of about 7-2. Number 5, Generous Prince, getting out a little bit towards 8-1. Rhythm Kingdom is 11-1. Number 6, bring that in a bit now to about 9-1. Now, Rivoli Lass, I've tipped Rivoli Lass. I haven't gone mad. I really think she can win. I think she's great odds, 14-1. A last start Randwick winner, and she's got a great hope. Number 8, Whiskey George, he keeps firming. 8's now getting down towards 7-1. Wayne Harris mount, a likely leader in the race. Little Squire at 50s, Pick a Paddy 50s. Johnny, I'm on a roughie, Rivoli Lass.
Good luck, Keno. She scored very well at Randwick last start, and I don't think there was any element of fluke about the win either. It was a tip-top effort. Now the starter's on his stand, has the button, they're ready to break. Doors open, off they go, and Big Raps might have got squeezed a bit because he went straight back to the tail of the field, and Port Kingdom bounced right out in front. Whiskey George is fast into stride, followed by Pick a Paddy, Rhythm Kingdom and Greenback, who'll settle midfield. A length further back, Rivoli Lass, followed by Little Squire, and then Donegal Mist and Big Raps, and dropping out last, Generous Prince. Past the 1200 mark, they're going at a good gallop, and Port Kingdom led by a half on Whiskey George on the outside, who's attacking that leader. Whiskey George is pulling hard at the 1000 mark. I don't think the rider can go any slower. 4 lengths away, Pick a Paddy, a neck to Rhythm Kingdom on the outside, a length and a half to Greenback, 2.5 then to Rivoli Lass, followed by Little Squire, Big Raps and Generous Prince, and last of all is Donegal Mist. Leaders have been winning all day, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because these leaders are fairly flying. Port Kingdom in front over Whiskey George, Rhythm Kingdom third on the outside of Pick a Paddy, a length to Greenback, who's being niggled a bit by Cassidy, followed by Rivoli Lass, Little Squire, and then Big Raps and Generous Prince, and Donegal Mist is labouring at the tail of the field under his big weight. Into the straight, Port Kingdom led over Whiskey George, Pick a Paddy, Rhythm Kingdom hooked out now and has popped the question. Just behind those, Generous Prince, who's bursting out of the pack and looking a big danger. Coming to the 200 mark, and Generous Prince on the outside, sprinted past Rhythm Kingdom. Port Kingdom battling on. Greenback is now winding up, but Generous Prince shot clear, and it's all Generous Prince in the last bit. Ridden an absolute treat, and he races away to score well over Greenback. Rhythm Kingdom has run third, followed by Whiskey George, Port Kingdom, and then Big Raps, Pick a Paddy, Donegal Mist and Little Squire, and Rivoli Lass back with the tail enders in a race run at a blistering pace. Well, that horse has to be ridden a special way, Generous Prince. He's got one quick dash, and he's got to be saved up for that one dash, and Sean Campton did that to a nicety. Generous Prince is going to pay $8.80 and $2.30. Second, Greenback, a place dividend of $1.50. And third, Rhythm Kingdom, number 6, a place dividend of $2.80. Well, Ken, that's the first one all day that's come from well back.
They went so hard, John, something had to run home, and as we pick them up, Generous Prince, Sean Campton has already got to the front. That's Greenback behind him in the orange cap. He's got his chance. He couldn't do any better. And Generous Prince, who's sometimes suspect at 1,500, but saved up for one run today, one short, sharp burst, was just too good for him. And, well, I don't think there are any excuses. Generous Prince, a comfortable winner over Greenback, and that's Rhythm Kingdom in third spot. There'll be no protests there. Generous Prince will keep this race on the wide world of sports.
Numbers 5, 3 and 6. First number 5, Generous Prince, paid $8.80 and $2.30. Second number